So let's take this conversation further. When you say, I create my own reality, to whom are you referring? Most people don't know that I am all of that. That's why you don't feel worthy. You're leaving your inner being out of the conversation, I create my own reality. But I create my own reality, which means I came into this body and I have contrasting experiences, and therefore I give birth to desires that my inner being then sees and embraces and becomes vibrationally active with. Oh, it's so good.
So good. So when I was having this awareness of there were some things in my reality, so then I am responsible because they're in my reality, then I was like, whoa, I didn't realize, it's almost like I need to like bring my daydream like wider. Like it was freeing. I was like, oh, I can have thoughts and daydreams about some of these things that are coming into my reality that...
You can, but is it your work to conjure it?
This is what I was going to ask.
No, it is not your work to conjure it. Your life has caused you to desire, but wait.
Okay.
Your work has caused you to desire it. That's your part. That's as far as your responsibility goes.
So, because I feel my energy is so big. It is obviously way bigger than my human life. And I was like, whoa, some of the things from somebody else is like coming into my energy field, and then it is easy. I was like, oh, I could just make my field a little bigger and kind of clean that up. And then I was like, wait.
She's in battle. You went to war with other people's energy field.
Exactly. Okay, so clean this up a little bit for me, because I am so aware of the way I create my own reality.
All that is important for you to understand is that there is a difference between step 1 and step 3. You're doing some of all of them, and it's all good. And just don't get mixed up about what step you're in.
So I can have desire about that. The thing that's coming into my reality.
Use more words.
Okay.
What thing?
Well, basically, I love harmony and flow, and even if it's a challenge, I can play this inner game a little bit of like seeing the challenge and going into like relaxing.
All right, now it's getting a little complicated.
Okay. Yeah,
So just listen just for a moment.
Yeah.
Because we know what you're getting at, we know where you are, and we're going to offer something. It's going to be a different conversation than one we've just had. But you're going to end up in the place that you're wanting to go. And so just relax just a little bit. If you've been listening to us for a while, have you been? You've heard us talk about every subject is like a stick, and on one end of it is wanted, and on the other end of it is absence of what is wanted. And it's helpful for you to know what end of the stick you're on when you're focused, because you might be pushing what you want away by being aware of the absence of something that you want. In other words, if you want money and you think you're talking about money or abundance, but every time you bring it up you feel uncomfortable because you're really thinking more about you don't have enough money, then this is not a good subject for you to play with, because you're practicing a vibration that isn't serving you. You'd be better off to stay off the topic. So every subject is like that. But now we want to offer you an even more powerful application of this pile of sticks. You're really going to like this because it's speaking right to what your question is. Give us the subject at hand. What is the subject that...
So actually, I have clarity about what I was saying. So
play with us on the stick pile just for a moment, if you don't mind.
The stick pile is like our business isn't as smooth as it could be, which I don't really play in.
You've got the stick out of the pile. And so this is the stick. But we're not going to put the name of the stick in the middle of the stick. We're going to put the name of the stick as you perceive it to be in your human form. We're going to put the name of this stick down here on this end of the stick, and we're going to call it our business. And then there are some other sticks that might say our money, our relationship, our furniture, our house, our car, our cat, our kids. This is a big pile of sticks. But this stick that says our business on this end of the stick, On the other end of the stick, it says love. On the other end of the stick, it says clarity. So when you pick up that stick and you think about our business, you just perpetuate it like it is. Well, when you pick up our business stick and you get really general about it, you think about love and clarity and exhilaration. You think about daydreaming kinds of things. Now, got that stick, but you're active on the empowering end of that stick. So now, do you feel like proceeding as you were, or did this clarify something that is diverting you a bit?
No, you're describing the action that I decided to take. So I was in my daydream checking in, and then I was like, oh, this one is on the opposite end of the stick. I have enough thoughts and love to nourish that.
But again, you're doing that thing that is tripping you up. Because when you take this end of the stick to fix this end of the stick, now you're on this end of the stick. And the reason that you want that end of the stick to behave better is so that you can feel what's already on this end of the stick.
Well, the real reason why I want it to behave better is because it can.
But are you living a conditional life? In other words, I want love, and this end of the stick is a little wonky, and so I'll get love, and then I'll focus on that end of the stick, and then it'll behave. And that's what trips you up. Why not just love, and pick up another stick, and then love? And love is a tricky word, because you've done a lot of really screwy things with it. And so you could replace it with appreciation or clarity or fulfillment or satisfaction, or use whatever describes that place of floating free, that place of knowing well-being, that place of self-actualization. You could use the word empowerment. Just find something that feels really good to you. This is such a leading edge conversation.
It's like I sensed it, and I decided to really look at what is. That's the sense that I'm having from you, is like when I'm like, woo, all this. Well, it was like, look at it, but instead I could have sensed it.
So we'll give this to you in another way, and you've heard this from us before, but it will be more meaningful now. So I'm going to look at what is. All right, I'm going to look at what is already manifested, or I'm going to look at what is in the vortex. They're different, and you can't look at what is in the vortex when you're looking at what is, because looking at what is will keep you from looking at what is. This is going to be interesting audio. When you're facing the reality, when you're acknowledging the manifestation as far as it already has manifested, manifested reality is what slows you down from the reality that you really want to live. So we're really finely tuning and finely walking here, aren't we? Because you have to find some way of letting the subject be active in a way that you don't work against yourself.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this in the relationship part, because this is really the part that I wanted. So if in a relationship you have somebody looking more at the what is and another person knowing the what is.
But that's not what's happening here. We've got one person looking at the what is, and we've got another person looking at the person looking at the what is.
Right. So this is what I was saying, though. I am powerful. I can choose where I want to look.
So here's the big question for all of you. What is, with all of its ups and downs and wanted and unwanted, what is, with all of its contrast, what is has caused you to focus into beingness, into vibrational beingness, something delicious? But the question that we're asking, and if you can hear this question and feel this answer, you're going to take a lot of steps forward right now. And we're going to ask it until you get there. So just relax. This isn't a test. This is co-creation at its best. So what is a really good business that could be better?
Yeah, and the reason why I want it better
We
is
want you to
we
be
are
quiet
limitless.
just for a little while.
Okay.
Just for a little, just,
All right.
it is co-creation at its best, but now it's time for you to stop talking just for a moment. So there is this business that is in the process of becoming more than it is. It is what it is, and it's in the process of becoming more than it is. And then there is clarity. There's this business as it is, and then there's fun. And then there's this business as it is, and then there's exhilaration and flexibility and empowerment. And it sounds like we've lost the thread and that we're off the subject. But we're not off the subject, because if we say there's this business, stay with us. We say there's this business that could improve or is improving. And then we say there's this perfect business that is thriving. We haven't changed anything, because it is what it is. And any conversation about the other end of the stick, when this end of the stick is what's most active within you, doesn't matter what words you use or what smile you have on your face or the volume with which you say it, you still only have activated the what is as it is. Does that make sense to you? So you have to find some way. You've heard us say this so many times. No matter what it is that you want, whether it's a material object or an improved business or a state of being or a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. Everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it. We're just wanting you to understand. Go for the feeling better and leave it out of it. Don't need it to change for the feeling better. And if you cannot need it to improve, if you can be unconditional, if you don't need the condition to change in order to have what you really want, which is that sublime acknowledgement of your true value and never-endedness, then the entire universe will respond to you in ways that others will not understand. Helpful? You got that, didn't you? See how ready for that you are, and how leading edge that is, and how this conversation has never been before unto all of the universe. See how worthy you are? Seriously worthy and ready. You can talk now if you want.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Really good.
Really
Thank
good
you.
conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.